Hello then, and welcome to the second episode of JACKOCAST. It's a recovering Jacko that you're listening to, but it's not about me, and I'm not that I'm one to complain, of course. With me today, I have the only female driver in Jacko Car. I have her cup stats here: 50 starts, 209 points, a single top five, 10 top 10 finishes, 4 driver of the day votes, and of course she has 50 Kia Series starts and 1 win. It's the driver of the number 7 car, Jess Ball. Welcome to JacketCast. How are you, Jess?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Uh, don't mention it. I do want to get round everyone, so if we get you out of the way, we can move on to the next one as quick as possible. I'm joking. I'm joking. First question for you then, Jess. How did you end up in Jacko Car?
So I first started in ILR because I wanted to do some league racing on the side to help me understand how drivers are facing with the challenges in terms of the racetrack and stuff. And my Thursday nights felt a bit empty, and I saw that you were doing a Jacko card to preempt the void, so I joined there, and the rest is history. I've been there ever since, for all I think since the start, really. So yeah, that's how I joined Jacko Car from ILR, really.
Yeah, one of the original drivers to come across with me. Of course, were you like me? You never expected it to be more than one season because I was under the assumption, even as the owner, that it was only going to be a one season thing. So we all expected ILR to come back. Were you like that?
Yeah, I was the same, to be honest. I thought it was just going to be a bit of fun, a bit of a fun league, just to get racing and get my racecraft up to gear before ILR starts. But that never happened. So yeah, I was kind of in the same thing as you.
And here we are now. So before ILR, what was your online racing career like before that? What had you competed in? What do you compete in now that isn't Jacko Car? What's that like?
ILR was my first league that I took part
Okay.
in. And after ILR, obviously, I had this. I had OneHub and LOE as well. And I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all the leagues I took part in. But um, obviously, I do 3 nights a week at the moment. But with OneHub, obviously, just finished their season. So yeah. ILR was my pretty much my first experience. That's why I probably started off quite slow and getting improving as the seasons goes on for all the leagues I take part in.
Yeah, you mentioned about being slow, but you are getting there, and we,
Yeah.
we we will come on to that actually later on. Um, from the outside looking in, you seem to dedicate your life to the Formula One games. It's almost like you're helping this league, that league, and then running OneHub Racing. Do you actually have any free time at all?
Yeah, I do now. I do have Sunday evenings where I just don't get involved in anything. I just have a bit of a chill, and then Fridays for a bit, until One Hub does some stuff again. But yeah, um, I just want to keep busy at the moment. I just hate
Okay.
being quiet. I just hate doing nothing because obviously I want some time away from work, and if I'm not doing anything, sometimes the stress goes back to the day job. So yeah, I always want to do something because otherwise I'll end up napping all day, and I don't want that.
Oh no, I'm totally. I love a nap. Um, but yeah, you're constantly busy, and you squeeze it in all with like your normal work as well. It's impressive. I think you're one of the hardest working in the esports world. It's very impressive. Don't know how you do it. Um, but moving on to the more important matter at hand, the Jacko car. You know, we don't like to talk about one hub racing here, Jess. I don't know if you know that.
I gathered that.
The earliest memory that I have of you in the league is, I believe it, race three or race four, Azerbaijan Cup Series Season One. You
Yes.
know what's coming, don't you?
Yes, I
The
do.
the famous commentary from Owen Wyatt. Jess, Jess. What was going through your mind at that point?
I think that's gone out of my mind ever since. I can't remember what happened. I think the last time I heard about it was in the build-up show when there was highlights, and I remembered what happened, and I was like, how on earth was I racing that bad? To be honest, I hate the track on the game. My worst track in all of league racing. I'm just a rubbish at pace, and the track's quite narrow. So I think I was just struggling, and I don't know what happened. I think I was just having a bad race, and I think luckily me and Yuri don't have any bad blood between us now. It's we came clean since then, obviously, and yeah, I think he's become one of the nicest person that I've spoke to in JACKOCAST to help me get my motivation up. 'Cause there has been some races where I've been a bit down, so and he's been one of the ones to get my motivation back up, I think.
I must admit, ever since running the league, Yuri's been one of those guys that I find my opinion has really changed of as well as you get to know him better.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy, is Yuri. Um, so I'm just looking through my notes here. Anything else actually that stands out for you in your Cup Series career? Because you're primarily better, and you won't mind me saying this, you are better in the Kia Series where it's more your level of pace. But anything
Mm.
in the Cup Series that stands out to you as like good moments?
I think last season Abu Dhabi it was a good race. It was I think I'll be my only top five finish. I finished fourth in that race. I had a lot of fun racing with a few people as well. I think I'm trying to remember what else. I think I had a fun race at Portugal this season as well. I had I think about with a KK at the time as well. Hungary, I think season one was one of my best ever results. I don't know how I got that, but I managed to I think scrape through and get P6 with no penalties. So.
Yeah,
I think those were my stand up. I have to say, if I had to pick one, it will be Abu Dhabi last season, which I think was round 2 or 3. And I think I was still a reserve at the time before there was a space open for full time. And I jumped to the chance, and then I got rubbish results since then. But there we go.
rubbish results, but of course that has come about all in line with this the new ruling that Jacko Cars brought out, where
Yeah.
we've gone from full traction to medium traction. Out of the drivers that has affected, a couple have left, a couple have stayed, a couple are not very good. But you have, out of everyone that I can think of off the top of my head, you are, or you've taken that in your stride, the best of anybody. You're the most improved of those who are on full traction. How have you found it, and did you agree with it at the time? Do you still agree with it now? What do you think?
I think when you start to introduce the rule, I think for the first couple of hours, I was like, how on earth I'm going to do this? I disagreed with it originally, but as soon as I think when I tried it in Belgium before the rule came out, I think I realised that the rule definitely needed to be in place because it was so OP in the rain and so OP on the straights and stuff. And I think I just wanted to improve my racing in the way as well. So I'm kind of glad that rule was in place so I can, because I think there were some tracks where full TC was too easy. So,
Yeah,
yeah, there were some tracks I could just take different lines now and be quicker in some bits as well. And I started to notice in the last few races that I'm starting to, I think, improve a bit more. I don't know why. I think something's clicked a little bit. I think obviously the last few cut races and the first Kia race of the season, I felt like I'm just getting used to it more. I'm not getting used to the rain. I'm still struggling with the rain at the moment, but
yeah.
I think in the dry, I'm almost at my 40C pace, but a couple of temps slower.
Okay, so that sort of ties in with my next question then. Do you take what you've learned from running medium TC and Jacko car? Do you now continue to use that in other leagues, or do you
Yes.
revert back to full traction?
There's no point reverting back because otherwise you won't get used to it. So yeah, I do try if I can to run it in other leagues as well. So it's good practice for a jacker car in the way because if the more practice you get, the better you become. So
Yeah, and eventually you'll start to master it with the rain as well. I know that's something I struggled with when
mm,
I very quickly went from full traction to medium traction and to no traction. And you think doing really well, and then all of a sudden it'll be a wet race, and oh no, everything goes out the window. it's, it's
Like
not fun.
Monza last season in Cup, that was awful. I think
Oh.
that was the first race the wall was brought in, and then it was a wet race. I was like, "There's no way I'm going to survive this." Somehow I survived it, but yeah, I always dread wet races still, to be honest, and I always put myself out of contention in results and just want to survive that. But if it's dry, I still have a good chance at the moment. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and you are very consistent, no matter the weather. So you always seem to finish a race. So
yeah,
that is
yeah,
you got to take the positive, haven't you?
yeah.
What was I going to say here? We should probably congratulate you actually. 50 Kia Series starts, 50 Cup Series starts as of this week. So 100 in total. I mentioned it on stream the other night actually. You are the fifth driver to get to 100 Jacko car events. Um, have you enjoyed it? Yeah, you must have if you've been around for 100 races.
Well, I would have left if I didn't enjoy it, Jacko.
This,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think the last few seasons I think has been a lot more fun. Cause there's been a few times where I just don't go on the game as much, but I think with having Jacko car there, I'm just there primarily for the racing. I don't care about the game. I'm just there because my friends are in it, and it's just a nice bunch of people, and it's good to have Splinter and Cloud back again in
yes.
Jackal as well. I had a great battle with him on Tuesday as well. So yeah, it's nice to have the old faces back as well that I used to race with back in the day.
I'm also very happy Cloud and Jamie have come back because not only am I now faster than them, it's beefed up the Kia grid, so it actually looks like it's a proper tier now. But if they'd come back and they were still faster than me, I'd be looking to boot them out already because they were rapid, weren't they, back in the day. Just very quickly going back to the full traction thing, whilst I think about it. Now that you are very much a medium TC runner, uh, what are your thoughts on the drivers that left the league or just straight up refused to try medium traction? Or, in your mind, is it very much each to their own? It doesn't suit them, whatever. What do you think?
It's quite a tough call, really. You just got to take as it comes. You got to try, and obviously, I think I'm there for the league. I'm there for the people, which is probably why I stayed and wanted to keep going. But I think there were some people that just were not quit very quickly and maybe just wanted to leave because they weren't as fast as they was. But really, I was starting to get into their stride a bit. But I can understand why they left, but it would have been nice if they just carried on with the season, see how it goes, take this the rest of the season as a learning curve, and then hopefully for the following season they could have used it to their advantage and be quicker. So I think personally they should have stayed, but I understand why they left as well because they probably were struggling a bit more and maybe not to their liking. So luckily I'm on a wheel, which helps.
That does
But
help, yeah.
yeah, but there are some people on the pad that I can understand people on the pad find it difficult with managing the throttle and stuff. But again, it takes practice, doesn't it? So yeah, I kind of wish I would have wanted to see those people in this season to see how they would have done. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm guessing they're not ready to move to medium TC yet, which is understandable.
absolutely. I really wish, I wasn't going to name any names, but I really wish Jake Warrior had given it more of a try. Because even though what he did on full traction, particularly in France in the rain, if you're driving at that ability, that level, you've got to be able to carry some of that over. He's got 6 Jacko car Kia wins, and I think a top 10 finish as well in the cup as well. I just wish he'd had a better go at it. Personally, that's just me from an owner perspective, but maybe we'll get Jake on at some point and see what he has to say about it. Um,
Yeah,
moving on then to I don't know, maybe your highlight of Jacko car, the opening round of last season in the Kia Series, Australia. You won. Well done. However, I said this was going to be brutally honest, Jess. Apologies. Jamie Bromley pulled over to the right to let you through on the line. So obviously you had to be there to win it anyway. But
yeah.
do you see that as a genuine victory? or are you just happy to have one on the board? Are you still looking to get another win in the future, or more wins perhaps? Um, Maybe more legitimately, even though Jacko is all about, you can let somebody else win to favour you in the playoffs. What are your thoughts on that Australia win?
I was having some very bad luck when it was started raining, and I think I would have been happy with second or third personally, because my pace was quite good in the dry towards the end, so I would have been very happy. Originally thought he ran out of fuel, but he messaged me after the race saying he wanted to do it, let me through, because he was a good friend and wanted to support me and stuff, which was nice. But I'm happy to get one win on the board, but I want to prove to the league that I can win a race with me having the actual pace to do so, and maybe lead on the final lap or something like that and battle for it. But yeah, in that Australia race, I would have been happy with second personally, but to take the win was great. But I'm still eyeing for another Jacko car victory in Kia. I think I've got my mind on where I want to do it, but I I think it's going to come with time. But I'm not aiming
Yeah.
for it yet. But I think in the postseason, I think I'm aiming to get at least one win. Hopefully maybe at Silverstone. That's my target. If I'm even if I'm in not in qualified or not, I'm still going to aim for that win in Silverstone.
A home victory.
Yeah,
But
and a Joker victory as well. So
yeah, so you're a bit like me because my only win was a gift as well. Um,
yeah,
Maybe in slightly more exciting circumstances on the
yeah.
final lap pass, but it's nice to have that win, isn't it? But I was in contention on Tuesday in Hungary to win, and it didn't quite come together. So, but
Mm.
you and I, we're knocking at the door every week, unless it's raining.
Well, you're getting better at the rain, so you're better than me in that aspect. So.
Slightly, it's not good. Um, so last season was absolutely fantastic for you. That season 4 Kia series, you had a deep, deep playoff run, and you knew this was coming as well. It was me, of all people, that reported Bazza for an infringement of some kind, either on a restart or a penalty, which then dropped him far enough down that it gave me the point I needed to advance to the Championship 5. But me, you, and Lesty were all level on points going into the Championship 5, of which I advanced because I had a better finishing position over the course of the season. Because we both had a
Austria
win.
being one of those races.
Yeah, I know. It was my Austria P3 got me in over you. So close to Championship 5. Do you hate me? Or is that it is what it is
It is
kind
what
of
it
thing?
is. I think with that incident, if the same thing happened to me, if I got taken out in that way, I would have reported it anyway. So no hard feelings to whoever reported it.
It was
I've
me.
got it was you. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No, no. Don't be sorry. I would have done the same. I was upset at the time, because I think if I crossed the line and you would have gone through on the actual race and got through to the Championship 5, I wouldn't have been too bad because I wasn't expecting to get through anyway. But there was a few days I think afterwards I was like, I was getting some practice laps in, I was getting ready, I was sorting out my livery, but then when I found out from my Keiko that I wasn't going to, I think it just hit home. I think it was the
Mm.
third season in a row that I just missed out, because I think the season before I was on my Joker. I was in around Japan. Bazza had a 3 second penalty. I was in second, I think, and I pretty much had the gap, and I just missed out on that one as well because I made that mistake. I think in Degna too.
Yeah,
So
because
yeah, it just is what it is really, and no hard feelings. So
that one in Japan, that's the race where Camo Baba, I think, let Baza win, wasn't it? Because Baza had won 2 races that season in season 3.
mm,
I think something like that. But yeah, when you take my ownership element out of Jacko, I'm as much as a racer as you. So I was very desperate. Desperate's the wrong word. I very much wanted to get to the Championship 5. It was so harsh on you though. Obviously, because you're like the people's champion, aren't you? Everyone likes you. They don't like me.
You got to
um,
do what you got to do though to get into the championship five. So
yeah, and
yeah.
it just worked out. It was crazy that we're all level on points, and it went to countback. It went to 2 positions on countback. Absolutely crazy. Um, because I felt so bad, I ran your livery in Miami, which we're now seeing on screen. You didn't know that, but we are looking at that livery. This is the yellow and orange car that you primarily ran last season, and I took it to P3 in overall for the course of the season, which I will dedicate that P3 to you, Jess, for
Oh.
the season that you had. So there you go. The only difference is it has the number 48 on it for some reason. I think it's my team car.
Ah, not your usual number,
No,
I'm guessing, but yeah.
I'm 32 and I so what else have I got here? Okay, let's talk about your favorite and least favorite drivers in Jacko car all time. You've raced 100 races, so you've probably raced against most people. Give us your favorite and least favorite and reasons why.
I think I'll start with Kia first. I enjoyed racing with New Garden, in particular in season two. It was around Brazil. I had a fight for 3 laps, and that was very fun. Also had a fight for second in Portugal as well in the final Championship 5 race. We both had nothing to lose because we both got knocked out in bad fashion. Well, to be honest, I was nowhere near, so it was fine. Bazza as well. I enjoyed fighting him. I raced with him in other leagues as well. Um, and I think a lot, especially this season and last season, Lesty as well.
Hmm.
I enjoyed fighting with him as well. I fight him with the first race, and I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna fight him for the rest of the season. And we have similar pace, and you always like to see your rivals do well sometimes. So to see Lesty get that win on Tuesday was an icing on the cake. I think he deserved it, and so did Newgarden last season. But I think those were my three that I enjoyed. I obviously enjoyed racing you as well. That in the first couple of seasons and last season as well. Even though you took me out the championship fight, but there we go.
We won't
Yeah,
mention it though.
yeah. My least favourite. I don't know. I don't think I have a least favourite driver.
I'm sure you do because we've all heard you swearing before, Miss Bull.
I'm just. I don't want to really want to put people down really at the moment.
No,
I
no,
think
you definitely should because then it gives them a chance to come back here and put you down. Oh, I've put her in a
um
place now. Go on.
yeah. I think there has been. I'm trying to remember. There has been times where me and Corey had ups and downs, and I think there was an Imola race where we just had a battle, and we both had front wing damage. But I did enjoy racing them. But again, I was watching his podcast, and he came clean about it, so I understood why he was doing it. So
Yeah.
yeah. So if I didn't hear about what he did last season, I think I still would have had a bad grudge about him. But I do have a better understanding on why he was suffering. But yeah, I've always find it a bit scared to race with Corey last season. But yeah, I would like to see him back. But yeah, I think I'll have to say Corey. I think, but I don't have any bad grudges on him now. But last season, I was always scared to race him because I was
Yeah.
worried he would take me out.
That's his fault for not being at the front because that's where he should be. In
Yeah,
fairness, in Cup Series, but yeah, he had his problems last season, didn't he?
yeah.
Okay. Um, what are Jess, as we come towards the end of this podcast, actually, what are your future goals in esports and also in life?
Um, in life, I currently do a communications job at the moment in my day job. I want to turn that to an esports career, to gain that experience. So I want to work in an esports team or motorsports team to do with communications and stuff. So that will be my life goal. But I think my dream goal would be to be a real time comment commentator for something like F1 esports or something like that. But that's probably never going to happen. Um, 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 And I think I'm just trying to think. Mainly in Jacko car, just keep learning medium traction to the point where I want to start get turning maybe no traction off in the future. But yeah, I think yeah, my main goal is to gain that experience in my current work and be working communications a little bit in esports, and yeah, I think that's my main goal, my main realistic goal. I think, but one day I hope to commentate for F1 esports.
And maybe finally make a Championship 5 as well.
I hope so. It's going to be hard with medium traction, but fourth time lucky maybe.
It's coming, trust me. I never expected to make one. I had to kick you out of one to give myself a chance. But we won't mention it. um, Speaking of the Championship 5s, you've never been involved in one as a driver. So, as a viewer, when you watch those build ups, what was your opinion of the build ups? Is it something that you wish other leagues did? Do you think we're overdoing it? What's your opinion of Championship night?
I think it's the best night of the whole season because I think everyone builds up to this one moment and you're finding out about the other drivers. I think there's a nice recap as well for any new people that want to join in as well. And I think it's I think it's well put together. Other leagues should be doing it because it's a big thing, and no other leagues have a final where it's definitely going down to the final race. And um, it's just nice that the Championship 5 gets their recognition in the way of what they've done and found out what they've done, and also find out the best and bad moments of the league as well. So yeah, I enjoy it as a viewer. Really. Last season's build up, I have to say, was brilliant in both.
Unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I had to watch it the day after because I was in a show, but I kind of wish I was there watching it live because the first bit especially was quite funny. But yeah, it was very good. Yeah, I like these build-ups, and I wish more leads can do that. I'm excited to see the build-ups in the future as well.
Good stuff. Okay, I've got two more for you. What is your absolute highest high point, your highlight of being in Jacko car over these last 7 seasons? Because of course you were a day one cup driver.
Obviously the win in Australia was one of them.
Yeah,
um, getting through to my first ever playoffs in season two. That was a good moment for me. Shows that I'm improving a little bit. I think that Baku race in Kia definitely helped me get back in the game for that. That Portugal race season two I enjoyed as well. Um, yeah, I think those are my moments as well. I'm trying to think last season Kia what my best race was apart from Australia. I think one of them will have to be probably Zandvoort. Zandvoort was pretty fun. And that leads on to my worst race in a Jackal history was Zandvoort in Cup actually. Apart from Baku, but yeah.
was that Zandvoort this season in
Yeah,
cup?
Zandvoort this season.
Yeah,
I just had a lot in my mind with what was happening, which I don't want to discuss here.
no,
But
that's fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
I think there was a lot on my mind going through there, and the whole thing for me is I never give up. I never give up, and but I did have rear wing damage. I was literally having a meltdown whilst I was racing, so I should have just called it quits and retired, but I just didn't, and it was probably my most mental test for me. I think that race, and
Yeah,
a race I'll never want to go through again. So yeah, yeah. So I just hate Zandvoort with a passion with medium TC. Full TC it's fine, but medium TC I think is one of the hardest I have to say. And I think I enjoyed Hungary on Tuesday. I think that was a highlight for me as well. Shows that I still have the pace even with full TC turned off.
yeah. No, Hungary was good fun actually.
Yeah, it was.
But I would say that finishing third, wouldn't I? Oh, stop it.
Yeah. I finished fifth, so there we go.
You did, yeah. And of course, Cloud returning to Jackokart, finishing P4. So excellent results all round for the
Yeah,
for the old guard, if you will. Um,
exactly.
Jess, last question from me. Is there anything that I've missed that you would want to talk about, or are you
Um,
happy?
um, I don't think so. I just want to continue racing in this league for as long as I can and improve on my racing. Hopefully I'll get another win in me, but highly unlikely. But I am aiming for one, and yeah, I am looking forward to the rest of the season, and I want to see some maiden victories this season from a couple of people in Kia. There's
Yeah, same.
some people that haven't had a victory that I want to get a I want them to get a victory. So because I had that moment, and I want more people to have that moment.
It's a good moment when it happens as well, isn't it? Of course,
Yeah,
Lesty last week, so brilliant.
that was brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah. And the thing is, it's Jacko car as well, so everybody will get their moment at some point, but
yeah.
who knows when? Who knows when? I will wish you well in your OneHub endeavours. Of course, you are now, like me, a league owner.
Mhm.
I did say that was my last question, but very quickly, how did that come about? And then we've got to end, unfortunately.
Well, I was management for a while. I was head of comms, and it came to the end of season 21, I think, where Nick messaged me finding out how it was going with my role and stuff, and he liked my determination, and he wanted to see some fire in me and what I did at the start of my management career at OneHub. So I think for the hard work I've done over the last year, they wanted me to be a co-owner, which of course I accepted, which I was very happy about. And coming to realise with season 22, which just finished, I do have full respect now for any league owner after experiencing what happened last season. Because it was harder than it was, because I didn't have to just manage the commentators, I had to manage the drivers as well.
Yeah, mate.
Um,
With
yeah.
comments like that, you can come again. uh, Absolute last question from me. What's the better league, Jacko car or
Oh,
OneHub
for
Racing?
goodness sake.
And you have to answer.
Um, well, it'll have to be OneHub because I own it.
Ah,
I can't downplay my own lead, Jacko.
oh dear. Well, it was a really good podcast up until then. So
Yeah, I had
just,
to be honest. You told me to be
no,
honest.
I did. I shouldn't have said that, should I? Oh well, never mind. Jess Ball, drive for the number 7 car. Thank you very much for coming on to JACKOCAST. It's been a joy, other than that last comment. So we will see you again on Tuesday night, where the Kia series continues. And yeah, best of luck for the rest of your racing career. Thank you very much.
Thank you.